says we won't have all the details on how the plane disappeared for another 6 to 9 months. Well, one question many people are asking about the search for Kennedy's plane is why it began hours after the plane disappeared.
And for answers, we're joined by an air traffic controller who has a better understanding of how these kinds of rescue works. Wally Pike is the president of the National Association of Air Traffic Controllers. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm sure since the beginning of the story, you and your colleagues have been speculating as to what happened. We understand that John F. Kennedy Jr. did not file a flight plan for this path.
That's correct. Our information is that he did not file a flight plan, nor did he contact our air traffic controllers.
And how important is that in terms of when something goes wrong?
We think it's extremely important. It's essential. Had he filed a flight plan, we would have begun search and rescue procedures 30 minutes after his ETA, his estimated time of arrival at Martha's Vineyard. That would have been about 10:30 that evening.
Not request air traffic control assistance. Is that unusual?
That's unusual in that area and for those weather conditions as we understand them. All the details are not in and they're rather sketchy at this time, but we had no contact with him as far as providing a weather briefing or any other assistance en route.
You know, when you're talking about filing that flight plan, it helps in the search, but then if they had been injured, it might have really helped in that rescue?
It very much could have, because we would have known how many people were aboard the aircraft, what his route of flight was, and we would have begun the process much sooner. We actually didn't get involved until 2:15 a.m. the next morning.
Mm-hmm. Now, Wally, in your experience, do most veteran pilots file a flight plan? I mean, Kennedy here had only 100 to 200 logged hours of flying. I mean, what's your experience with most pilots?
My experience is that they do, and we highly recommend that because of the search and rescue features that we provide, the services we provide. So most do.
A lot of it is speculation, but of course a lot of people are wondering about the condition or term called situational awareness. How difficult is it flying over the ocean at night?
It can be extremely difficult, especially if you have haze and adverse weather conditions, especially during the evening.
Okay, well that gives us some very good insight. Wally Pike, president of the National Association of Air Traffic Controllers. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, the apparent crash of a plane carrying John F. Kennedy Jr. falls on the same weekend as